What will be your reaction if your political protege suddenly begins to kick against the power structures with which you once delivered political victory to them? Demand loyalty? It once failed Kwankwaso, but now he enjoys its dividends under the leadership policies of Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano State. It has been a part of the power structure and history of Lagos politics, where although it stood in the way of Ambode, placing a halt to his political career, but no doubt benefited the likes of Fashola and the incubent Babajide Sanwolu. Arguably, it is hard to deny its contributions to a more organized and prosperous Lagos today, although it is not without its disadvantages as is currently demonstrated by the Rivers crisis. The politics of godfatherism has become an entrenched part of the Nigerian political landscape, and take it or leave it, loyalty is the currency with which political gladiators trade on this terrain. Welcome to Politics and Powerplay. If this is your first time on this channel, make sure to click on the subscribe and notification buttons for more of our videos on robust and unbiased political commentary in Nigeria. Now let's dive in. The unfolding Rivers crisis between Nyesom Wike, former governor of Rivers State and current FCT Minister, and his successor Siminalayi Fubara is a classic case of political miscalculation that could have lasting repercussions for Fubara's political career. While on the surface it is seen as a clash of personalities, it is actually a reflection of a broader pattern in Nigerian politics where proteges who challenge their godfather's influence often face significant consequences. Whereas Fubara's actions may ultimately be seen as a misstep reminiscent of the fates of other political proteges like Akinwumi Ambode of Lagos and Godwin Obaseki of Edo State, his supporters have argued that seeking autonomy irrespective of earlier agreements is nothing to be dreaded, citing the case of Obaseki's political maneuvers with Adams Oshomole. But did Obaseki actually get away with it? And why begin an alliance without understanding the terms and conditions in the first place? Well, on this, let's hear your opinion in the comment section below. Regardless, by distancing himself from Wike, Fubara risks alienating his political base and weakening his standing in the years to come, and here is how. Nyesom Wike has long been a dominant force in Rivers politics, leveraging his influence and resources to secure loyalists and establish Rivers as his stronghold. Fubara's rise to governorship was largely due to Wike's support, which reflects a common godfather-protege dynamic. Yet, since his assumption of office, Fubara has aligned with interests that appear to undermine Wike's influence. This has raised questions about Fubara's political acumen. By making choices that sidelines Wike's loyalists and show signs of rapprochement with federal powers, Fubara seems to be echoing the path taken by Ambode, who similarly distanced himself from Bola Tinubu's influence, a move that ultimately led to Ambode's loss of Tinubu's backing, preventing him from securing a second term as governor. And so, by pursuing a similar course, Fubara may be repeating Ambode's mistake, risking a premature end to his political aspirations. But again, Fubara's supporters have disputed this tendency using the cliché, Rivers no be Lagos. But deeming the perennial conflict that has continued to fester between Wike and Fubara, could there be a working formula between political godfathers and their governor proteges as exemplified by the cases of Abba Yusuf of Kano and Kwankwaso, as well as Babajide Sanwolu and Tinubu? Again, drop your thoughts in the comment section below. But the struggle between Fubara and Wike isn't just about loyalty. It's a battle over control of the state's vast resources and key political appointments. Wike, who has repeatedly emphasized the importance of loyalty, views this as a tool for consolidating influence and ensuring Rivers remain strong and self-sufficient. Fubara's recent moves, however, suggest an openness to federal interest, which some interpret as a betrayal of Wike's legacy and a misstep that could come at high cost. The strained relationship between Adams Oshiomhole and Godwin Obaseki serves as a clear warning. Obaseki's decision to break away from Oshiomhole in Edo State led to a bitter power struggle and forcing him to defect to another party to secure his political survival. While Obaseki managed to win re-election, his move fundamentally altered his political trajectory, isolating him from former allies and limiting his broader influence. If Fubara isn't careful, he may find himself similarly isolated with limited support from the very network that helped him rise to power. Loyalty in politics is not merely symbolic. It serves as a foundation for building alliances and securing influence, and not even a Donald Trump would accept a Mike Pence where the issue of loyalty is at stake. This principle is demonstrated vividly in Lagos, where Babajide Sanwolu's loyalty to Bola Tinubu has not only secured his political position but also strengthened his political base. Sanwolu, aware of Tinubu's influence, has maintained a close alliance which has allowed him to govern with relative stability and assured backing. In stark contrast, Fubara's apparent break from Wike threatens to destabilize his position. Unlike Sanwolu and Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano State, Fubara appears to be challenging the very hand that elevated him, a decision that could erode his support and make him politically vulnerable to opponents. Another dimension of the Wike-Fubara feud is the way it potentially opens Rivers State to external interference. Wike has historically maintained a firm stand against federal encroachment, advocating for the state's autonomy over its resources. By aligning with federal interests, Fubara is taking an uncalculated risk that could weaken his hold on the state's governance. Again, this approach mirrors Akinwumi Ambode's willingness to pursue policies that deviated from Tinubu's vision in Lagos. Ambode's independence was perceived as a threat by Tinubu's allies, leading to his replacement by a more compliant successor. Fubara's divergence from Wike may similarly be perceived as an opportunity by rival factions to weaken Wike's influence. But it also places Fubara in a precarious position. Without Wike's backing, he may find himself vulnerable to the very forces he is currently courting. Ultimately, Fubara's handling of his relationship with Wike could mark a critical turning point in his political career. Nigerian politics is replete with examples of proteges who thrived by remaining loyal to their godfathers and those whose careers faltered when they diverged. If Fubara continues on his current path, he may face the same fate as Akinwumi Ambode of Lagos or Godwin Obaseki of Edo State, leaders who, despite their initial prospects, found themselves marginalized after breaking with their political mentors. Wike's backing, whether publicly acknowledged or not, provides Fubara with a vital layer of protection and legitimacy in Rivers State. By sidelining this support, Fubara is not only risking his governorship, but also potentially sacrificing any future role on Nigeria's larger political stage. The ongoing conflict between Wike and Fubara serves as a cautionary tale about the importance of loyalty in the volatile landscape of Nigerian politics. Fubara's reluctance to align himself fully with Wike may seem like a bid for independence, but it risks alienating the very networks that could sustain him in the years ahead. By not playing his political cards right, Fubara might jeopardize his career trajectory, potentially relegating himself to a cautionary example for future politicians on the dangers of breaking ranks with one's political godfather. Thanks for watching, and make sure to watch this video on how Wike and Ganduje remains possible solutions to the APC's victory in 2027.